Hello students, greeting from the day. In the previous some lectures, we are discussing some basic topics on our C++ programming language. And from these topics, we have discussed the keywords, variables. In the last lecture, we discussed the operators, and we also have discussed the data types. Okay. So in today's lecture, we are going to discuss another topic from our C++ programming language. That is nothing but C++ arrays. Okay. In the previous lecture, when we discussed the topic that is nothing but C++ data types, in that lecture you might have heard this word that is nothing but arrays, right? So we all know that if you go to that lecture and you watch that video once again, in that you will understand or you will see that this C++ arrays or arrays are nothing but one of the data type, right? In that lecture we have discussed we have break down the data types that we are having in three categories. The first category was there that is primitive data type. Second was there that is your derived data type, and third one was there that is your user-defined data type. Right? So in that lecture, we just have seen these C++ arrays as an example of derived data type, right? Derived data type, and we all know that what are the derived data types? The derived data types are the data types in which we are going to make use of our primitive data types, right? With the help of primitive data type, we are going to have the different types of data type, that is nothing but derived data type. And in the same, with the help of this derived data type, we are having the example of arrays. So in today's lecture, we are just going to discuss this derived data type, that is array. So let us discuss what actually the array is, right? So with the help of this array or with the help of this array data type, we can say that this array is nothing but a collection of homogeneous data type or homogeneous type of value, right? With the help of array, what we can do, with the help of array, we are going to have the homogeneous data values, right? The arrays are nothing but the collection of homogeneous data values, right? Arrays are nothing but homogeneous collection of homogeneous data values. In array, what we can do? We can store the multiple values, number of set of values in a single array, right? Or in a single variable name under the single variables. And at the time of, we all know that we are going to store such a kind of data values on the computer's memory, and that memory will be continuous, right? These array members are going to be saved or going to be stored on the contiguous memory of system. Right? Means whenever we are going to store such a kind of homogeneous data values on our computer memory or our system's memory, that will be saved as a continuous on the that memory as a continuous memory. Right? So this is nothing but the array. Whenever we are going to access, right? Whenever we want to access such a kind of data values from the arrays that we can get from the array index. Okay, we can access, we can say that we can access the data values of arrays, right? Here we can call this data values of an array as an elements. These data values of arrays can be identified or can be known as elements. So these elements can be accessed with the help of array index. Right? So as we know that these are the derived data types. Right? Array is a derived data type. So array can be of our type of our primitive data types, right? Means integer will be there, float will be there, double will be there, char will be there, right? So with the help of these primitive data types, we can create an array of homogeneous data type, right? Or with the help of the kind of different data types, primitive data types, we can make collection of such a type of homogeneous data value. So this is nothing but array, right? Simply we can say that, or we can define array as a collection of homogeneous data values. This same type of values can be put together with the help of this array derived data type, right? The values from that array data type are going to be stored on the continuous memory, right? Continuous memory space on that our hard disk, we can say on our RAM, that will be used to store this value or to store these elements from our array. To assess these elements of our array, we can use the array index, which is going to start with 0 onwards. Right? And our array type of will be integer data type, float, double, character, etc. Right? We can use this primitive data type to declare the array. Right? So this is all about your array, right? The theoretical part regarding about your array data types. Okay. So let us see the declaration. How we are going to declare the arrays. Before having the declaration, one more thing that we should know about array, that is nothing but array is of two types. Right? The types of array. Types of array. There are two types of array. There are two types of array. The first one is one-dimensional array. One-dimensional array, and second we are having multi-dimensional arrays. Okay. The first type that we are having is one-dimensional array, and another type that we are having is multi-dimensional arrays. Okay. So first of all, we will discuss the one-dimensional array. Right? How these one-dimensional arrays are declared, how these values are initialized to these one-dimensional array, how those values are going to be stored on our memory. Right? So let us start or let us discuss the array declaration with respect to one-dimensional array first. Then we will also discuss the multi-dimensional array. So first is the declarations. Okay, array declaration, one-dimensional array declaration. Right? So to declare this one-dimensional array, we require the data type. First of all, we will read the data type. That is nothing but what type of values that one-dimensional array is going to store, right? That is nothing but our data type. Then we are going to have the name of that array. Okay. Then we are going to have array name, right? And the important part here is your bracket, right? In this box bracket or in this bracket, we are going to mention the array size. Okay, we are going to mention our array size and closing braces, right? Our data type, our array name, and array size. This array name is nothing but we can also call it as a variable name, right? The name that we are going to identify that set of values, that is nothing but your array name. With the help of this array name, we are going to identify the set of values that we are having as an array. Right? So this is nothing but the syntax for our one-dimensional array declaration. Data type, array name, and into the brackets we are having the size of array. Right? With the help of the size of array, we are going to specify how many elements we are going to store into our array. Right? How much elements, number of elements that we want to store in that array that are we are going to specify with the help of this array size. Okay, so let us see with one example. We are having one example, right? Data type. Let us see one simple example. Integer, right? I want to have the collection of some whole numbers, right? Whole numbers collections I have to make with the help of some array. So I am going to have the data type integer, right? The array will be anything except the keyword or the special keywords that we are having. Except those keywords, we can use any array and saying that x, right? Then opening braces. In that opening braces, I can have the values 5, right? I want to insert 5 elements in my array x of 5 integer, right? So, with the help of this integer x of 5, on memory space, what is going to be happen? Right? So, with the help of this declaration on your memory, continuous memory, so 5 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And integer is having 4 bytes. Means 4, 5 are 20. 20 bytes memory is going to be reserved only for this x array name, right? For this x array name, we are going to utilize or we are going to make use of this 20 bytes on our memory space, right? So this is nothing but your continuous memory, right? This is your continuous memory. Here we are already having some kind of values, right? At the end of values, whenever we are going to initialize this, or we are going to declare this int x of 5, at that time we are going to have that particular memory space reserved on our memory, right? Reserved on our memory, and after that we will have the empty space, right? So in this declaration statement, this is nothing but data type, right? Of what type of value we are going to store on that memory space. This is nothing but our array name, with the help of which we are going to identify this memory location. And this is nothing but a size, array size, right? Array size. With the help of this array size, we can specify that how many elements we want to store on our contiguous memory, right? whenever we want to assess the values from this array X, first of all, let us see the initialization. How we are going to initialize the value to this array. Right? So one statement is there. This is nothing but only the declaration. To initialize, we can just make change. Here we can initialize the values to that array with the help of this equal to curly braces. Then value 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these values are going to be initialized to the x of 5. Right? Means these values are going to store at the memory location 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? So this will be the indexing that we are going to have for this array is always start with 0. Means this is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can call it as the index, array index. This is the number array index. Here we are having the array size. Array size. While indexing or having indexing, we can have the array size minus 1. Means if the array size is 5, the indexing will up to the 4. If array size is 6, indexing will up to 5. So it starts with 0, that's why it takes before 1 place. Okay, so this is the thing about array index. And to get or to assess the value, we can just say this is nothing but x of 0, then x of 1, x of 2, and x of 4. Right? So we can call it as a members of array. Right? So these x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, and x of 4 are known as members of the array. So with the help of these members, the values that we have stored at our memory space can be assessed. Right? If I want to, we can assess any value. Right? It is not like that you just have to assess the values from its first. It is not like that. You can assess randomly any value from that variable space or from that array. Right? So to assess the value, we can just have x of 3. Right? From this, you just see that, right? You just make that use of statement to print out to assess the value from your memory space. By using that statement, you can assess the any value from that array from your computer. Okay, so this is nothing but the declaration for your one-dimensional array. Right? This is nothing but the declaration for your one-dimensional array. The declaration is that integer x is equal to 5. You can say that this part is nothing but the declaration only. Right? At that time, the memory is going to be reserved with respect to the size of this array. Right? And at the time of initialization, right, this total is nothing but declaration is initialization. Whenever we are going to initialize these values to the array, these values are going to be stored on your that memory space. Right? Unless and until you are not going to initialize the value, at that time the only space is going to be reserved. Right? The value initialization will not be there. Right? All these will be the empty spaces. Right? And we can assess all the values or any random value from our array, from these members of array. You can use any of that value or any of that member and you can access the values that is stored on that memory location. Okay, so this is nothing but one-dimensional array. After one-dimensional array, we are having multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array. Let us discuss multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array. So multi-dimensional array is nothing but we can store. We are going to store the value of the continuous memory. But the arrays or the values of that array can be represented with the help of your x-axis and y-axis. Or we can have two dimensions, right? So this is nothing but multi-dimensional array. To declare such a kind of multi-dimensional array, we are having the syntax for that declaration. Declaration syntax. Okay. So let us discuss the declaration syntax for this multi-dimensional array. So again, that will be our primitive data type. The arrays we are going to have is nothing but any kind, but of only primitive data type we are going to use. So again, I am going to have let us keep syntax first. Data type, array name. Here we are going to have two array sizes, right? Size 1 and size 2. Okay, array size 1, array size 2. Right? This is nothing but the declaration for declaration syntax for your multi-dimensional array. Let us see one example. With the help of that example, you will come to know that how this array are going to be represented. That will also I am going to discuss. So, integer x, 3 and 2. Okay, the size is 3 and 2. So we all know that whenever we are going to initialize, the value to this array, it is going to start with 0. Right? Array indexing is going to start with 0 for both these values. So how we can represent this array? Right? Let us see how we can represent. So 0, 0. Then x is equal to 0, 1. Then x is equal to 0, 2. And here we are going to have x is equal to 0, 0. X is equal to 1. Now here we are going to have, just a minute, x is equal to 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and x is equal to 1, sorry, x is equal to 2, just a minute, let me confirm it. Okay, so this is the representation of our multi-dimensional array. We just have made one mistake in this representation. We are having there is a different number of rows and number of columns, right? So number of columns that we are having is 2, is 0 and 1. So this is nothing but the extra part that we have added in our representation, right? And this is nothing but so this will be our array x of 3 by 2. The total values that we are going to store in our array is nothing but 3 multiplied by 2, that is 6. So these 6 values that we are going to store in our array are in this representation, right? So we can also say that whenever we are going to initialize the values, how many values we are going to initialize into this? The x. So I'm just going to have x of 3, 2 equal to any 6 value I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So these 6 values are going to be stored in this representation, multi-dimensional array. Just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The first value will be, we can represent it as an x of 0, 0. And this is x of 0, 1. This is x of 1, 0. X of 1, sorry, x of 1, 0. After that, we can have x of 1, 1. Okay, then x of 2, 0 and x of 2, 1. So all these values, 6 values, we are going to store in this our memory locations, right? This is nothing but the value initialization, right? So the values are going to be stored in such a way, right? So this is nothing but the initialization of values to our column. We can also have to our multi-dimensional array. We can also break it down just like this, right? Right? So we can also represent or we can also visualize like this or directly we can visualize. Right? So this is the different declaration of multi-dimensional array and value visualization to this multi-dimensional arrays. Right? So actually the values that we are going to store, the values that we are going to store on our memory, that again are going to store on this continuous memory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The only representation that we are going to use is different, right? But actually to store these values, we are going to have the continuous memory only. So these values are going to store in this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Indexing again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But to assess these values, what we are going to use? The array member names will be 0, 0. Then here we can use x of 0, 1. Here we can use x of 1, 0 and so on. Right? The values that we have to assess, that depends on this, that value is going to be assessed with the help of this member names. By using these member names, we can assess that value from the multi-dimensional array. Right? So this is nothing but the two types of array and its declaration with initialization and how we can represent it, that we have discussed in this lecture. Okay, so this is nothing but all about our C++ arrays. Okay, so in this lecture we are going to stop today. Okay, in the next lecture we will try to discuss the another one from our object-oriented programming. Okay, so today we are going to stop. Thank you very much.